Today's conversation is with Robin Burns, Managing Director of the Family Business Alliance, headquartered in Grand Rapids, Michigan. FBA is a member-driven community that provides business education, peer learning, and authentic relationships. Since joining FBA in 2020, Robin has been responsible for implementing the strategic plan, execution of enrichment programs, underwriter engagements, and financial oversight of the organization. Robin is on a mission to both support and connect family businesses with one another.
Welcome to the Navigating Abundance podcast. Our goal is to encourage you to pursue your total family wealth potential through insightful conversation with experts and thought leaders in their fields. But first, some obligatory disclosures. Navigating Abundance podcasts do not represent investment, legal, or tax advice. Any opinion expressed in Navigating Abundance podcast is solely those of Christopher Tanke and his guests and are based upon information believed to be reliable but not guaranteed. Podcasts are produced for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered an endorsement of the guest or the views that they hold. Information shared may not be appropriate for your personal situation. Consult a qualified advisor for guidance. Investment advisory services are offered through Strategic Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Navigating Abundance is a trademark of Strategic Financial Group, LLC. And now here's your host, Chris Tanke.
Today, I'm delighted to have as our special guest Robin Burns of the Family Business Alliance here in West Michigan. We met Robin maybe a month or so ago and really weren't that terribly familiar with the FBA, and we've been honestly wondering what have we been missing all of our lives. This is a fabulous organization that comes along very much with one of our priorities here at Navigating Abundance, and that is to understand that navigating abundance is a team sport. You cannot do this on your own. Enter in FBA and all of the marvelous connecting opportunities they have, groups of people, collaboration to help family businesses in particular. It is a rich environment indeed. So, Robin, thank you so much for what you all do, and I'm excited to introduce folks to you and introduce people to the concept, because you don't have to necessarily live in West Michigan to take advantage of an organization such as this, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. Family Business Alliance in Grand Rapids, or based out of West Michigan, was started in 2006, Chris, as I had informed you when we previously met. And it was really about pulling family organizations together to create a connected community to facilitate peer learning and enhance an exchange of ideas so that family leaders continued to thrive and create an impact here in our own community.
Mm-hmm. And so it began in 2006, and in this organization, I shouldn't say chapter, but in this iteration of a family business organization, this was really connected ultimately back to the Chamber of Commerce. Is that right?
Correct.
In Grand Rapids?
Originally back in the day, the study of family businesses started out in universities. And that's where you'll find some of these other centers is based out of universities. So our memorandum was written as a joint venture between Grand Valley State University and the local Grand Rapids Chamber as a way to bring family business leaders together in an effort to, as I mentioned before, to preserve that family business operations and their impact here in our community. In 2013, we spun off from the educational university. They wanted to focus just on family business education, and we were focusing on the membership aspect. So we work in collaboration for events, for programming, to bring in nationally recognized speakers, but we operate independently from a university.
So if you could just give us a high altitude view of, well, if somebody like us was sitting down with you saying, talk to us about what the FBA can do for us or what you all offer, what would be the advantage of me connecting with you? Because frankly, I'm a very busy professional. Okay,
right.
So why should I slow down and
that
work with
is
you
the
guys?
biggest challenge, Chris, is finding time, right? Business owners, families are busy, and to carve out that time to join an association, people are concerned, do I have the time, and what would be the value proposition that I would receive from it? And how FBA is unique in our marketplace as well as in our across the country is we are a community, a connected community of specifically family business leaders. So We offer the opportunity to learn about family business operating structure, family business dynamics, family business communications, family ownership. And we're the only organization that's offering that programming. And we both know that operating in a family business, while it has plenty of opportunities to build legacy, to create impacts in your community, there's also those challenges. And understanding how to best navigate those challenges through peer feedback and best practices and the experience of others is really the sweet spot about FBA. The secret sauce about our association is every single member who joins and their willingness to engage and share their insight and perspective. You asked, why would I carve out the time? Because our community is so giving that the members will contact me to say, hey, Robin, I'm looking at creating an independent board of directors, or I'm struggling with whether or not I should bring my next generation other sibling into this business. And do you have anybody I can talk to about this very personal matter in a confidential, safe space? And I can call another member and say, I know you walked down this line a little bit ago. Would you mind having a cup of coffee with Joe, who you've never met? And every time I have a member who responds, I'd be happy to do that. Please connect me.
How valuable is?
Yeah, it's like getting a peek behind the curtain. It's a peek behind the curtain, and that doesn't exist in every business community.
I love that. I love that. We are fond of saying here, navigating abundance, it is wise to learn from your own mistakes, and oftentimes you pay a hefty tuition to make the mistake. That's how life works. But you know what, Robin? What's even better is it's brilliant to learn from other people's mistakes. That's what you're saying. Sit down with somebody who've been through it before, because, look, generally human beings, if we can just slow down and have a conversation, which is our biggest problem, human beings want to help each other. And that is really cool when you can have a conversation with somebody who has been where you're about to go, and to add some salt and light into what's ahead of you, so that you can make better decisions, and to support you in that. I find that the most exciting, heartwarming thing about having an organization like this, where people would be willing to share and help each other. That's what life is all about, frankly. I think that's cool. I think the process is almost better than the results.
Well, and Chris, we know leadership is lonely, right? And every family business leader is in a position of having to navigate a lot of those challenges and opportunities by themselves. And we create an opportunity for us to introduce you to somebody, or for you to meet somebody who's in the exact same seat as you, who wants to see you benefit from the conversation as well as themselves. And so, that's a rare opportunity to be able to, it's very important to have that peer network so that you don't feel alone, that somebody does understand your challenges. You want to be in a room with people who are experiencing some of those same opportunities and challenges.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, let's talk about, I want to jump in right to the peer program, because this is in line with what we're talking about to a degree. You can one-on-one with somebody with a coffee, but boy, there is actually a proactive connecting approach that you guys take through your peer program. My daughter, Stephanie, is going to be joining one designed for folks, kids, young people, young professionals. In her position, I'm going to be joining one that's for older people like me. But wow, could you describe what you're seeing, what you're offering, and some of the fruit of that?
Yeah. So peer groups come together. You said younger and older. We call them now and next. Right?
There you go. That's better.
Our group, you can be a next generation family member or a now generation family leader. And so we curate these groups, taking into consideration the relative size and scope as much as we can of your business, where you are in what we call your leadership journey. Are you looking to maybe transition to the next generation as a now gen leader and want to navigate how do you do that effectively for the family that you've brought into your business? Or are you a next gen looking to create opportunities, build trust, gain the leadership skills that you need to navigate being the next generational leader and carrying on the founder's legacy forward? And so, trying to balance the blessing and the burden, as they say, right, for a next generation member. So we bring these groups together. They make a commitment to spend time with one another. The first year for a next gen is they're getting to know each other. They're getting to know each other's business so that they can offer insight and collaborate on issues that they might bring to the table. And so these groups are set up for any business or personal or professional goals that individual would like to meet. And again, going back to what I said, leadership is lonely, right? So think of 8 individuals in your peer group that you develop this relationship with, that you can bring to them any problems or challenges within the business or the family. And they have the understanding and can work with you to help you collaborate. They won't solve your problems for you, but they can help identify, hey, I had a similar experience and this is what worked for me. And so these groups get together once a month and they make the commitment to each other to hold each other accountable. For example, a way a group member might hold another group member accountable is, I was going to talk to my dad about these allowing me to expand into this product line, but I received resistance. And so he comes back to the group and they're like, well, what have you done about that? And the leader has to identify, well, I didn't readdress. Well, didn't you say you were going to readdress? And so they hold each other accountable for the goals that they want to obtain. And for that reason, these groups, we have groups that have been together for 16, 17 years. The same group members, I had one person say to me, I want my children to know that other peer group members' children. These people become so critical and important in their lives that they want their children to know each other and grow up with each other.
That's fantastic. The truth of the matter is there's a lot of wisdom in the room. You just have to spend some time to drive over to the room.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
They meet once a month for 3 or 4 hours at a time. Yeah. I mean, they're making that commitment because the fruits of that, you mentioned, what are the fruits of that labor? What are the fruits of that work? Number one, it definitely creates an opportunity for you to develop your authentic leadership skills because you are helping lead other people to the goals and the selves that they want to be. And that's what leadership is really about, right? It's not about what you want. It's about what the other person on your team or in your profession wants. And this is helping them get to where they want and being there to support their journey and helping them hold themselves accountable to that process. So, one of the things is it really helps you enhance your leadership skills. It helps you improve your understanding of business operations on the scale. And then also it helps to help you broaden your influence and gain the ability to understand and process diverse perspectives, right? Because you've got 8 people in the room who've had 8 different experiences growing up in their family business or leading their business, and being open to a different perspective with how somebody else leads and challenging yourself to identify, how can I learn from that experience?
And the world has become so complicated and so driven and so fast-paced. We are more and more and more ducking down in our silos just to get our work done.
Correct.
This puts you out of that, breaks you free of that, at least for a little bit, and to give you some other perspective that, how are you going to find this? It'll be difficult to have this by reading, great books on, family succession planning, and they're out there. But how much better to talk about this and to emote and to bounce ideas off each other. That's just invaluable.
Right. Well, and collectively we operate better, right? Collectively we operate better. So for example, during the pandemic, these groups might have been used for, how are you dealing with temperature checks? How are you handling your handbook revisions? What's your return to office policy? And having that free flow exchange of ideas and understanding how to utilize that information for the betterment of your organization. Today, I would imagine some of the conversation is about the tariffs, right? Mm-hmm. What are you doing about the costs, or how are you managing that? And some of the conversations, frankly, in your area of expertise, Chris, might be, how are you managing the wealth transfer, right? Mm-hmm. what are you doing to engage your children and educating your children about wealth? And can I help with that? So, those are all kinds of conversations, I'm sure, that happens in those groups. They're very confidential. I don't get privy to them. The nice thing about them is, I had somebody ask me today, the group, what's the topic? The topic is determined by the 8 people in the room. And that's what makes it worth your time. You're determining the topic.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty exciting stuff. Again, I just think that it's easier to lift a burden when there's a group of people doing it. I think it's just so great to have that human contact in areas that we have general commonality, have a group of people that's for one another, prodding one another, encouraging one another, maybe holding each other accountable.
Right.
It's, again, our whole world is especially through social media, actually isolates us from that sort of thing. If you were to take the plunge into this kind of peer connection opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, you would be blessed by it for sure. So wherever you are, you don't have to be in West Michigan. There are opportunities for you to do that. We'll speak of that in a little bit. Could I switch a little bit and talk about maybe the calendar of maybe educational events and whatnot? I mean, if somebody says, well, I'm allergic to other people, I don't want to be in a peer group, but I sure would like to join the Family Business Alliance, there are many other things that they can plug into safely as they're trying to check out if these are the kind of people that I would want to have a cup of coffee with.
I would agree with you, right? We're here to meet everybody on their journey and what works for them. So we have peer group programs, as I mentioned. So that's about 60% of our membership does a peer group, but that is not for everybody because of, their individual style. If they would like to attend a larger group event and network and meet other families or be inspired by other families.
Right.
Family Business Alliance, as well as some of the other centers across the country, bring in nationally recognized subject matter experts on family business. Family business leaders are in our country are one of the most humble leaders I've met. We've had the privilege of hosting Chick-fil-A, the founder's daughter, Trudy Cathy White. We are scheduled to have a Vitamix family business member come in this year and share her story about how she was able to align the family and the business, and then the business took off. Next year we have Tabasco. So, this is over 100-year-old business that continues to operate independently. So we want to provide those inspirational stories. We want to provide subject matter experts. We also offer but workshops, what we call pop-up workshops, where we have economists share their insights for family businesses or strategies on how to build AI into your family business strategic plan. Another opportunity might be to participate in one of our programs. We have a succession program where you work with a facilitator to have conversations with your next generation. We have a leadership program that offers leadership guidance to family business leaders to help create alignment in the family, to keep the family legacy moving forward. And then next year, we're announcing several new programs. One, a very challenging conversation, compensation in the family business. How do you navigate compensation in the family business, as well as build a board of directors and engage your next generation? So we encourage our members to engage with what programs are best suited for themselves, and it's not a one-size-fits-all.
And of course, we had some of you have watched our podcast before. Tom Amy was on, and who's the fellow from Sly? What's his name?
Rob Sly.
Rob Sly, yeah. Sorry. This is a very informal podcast. What's that guy's name again? Anyway, but they put on a really powerful succession seminar, which most family businesses are going to be facing, that a lot of your folks take advantage of too. So there's a lot of really good educational opportunities that you can plug into if you're so fortunate to be within driving range of the Family Business Alliance here in West Michigan. But again, these sort of things can be replicated. And maybe we should talk about that right now, because I feel like I'm sort of like saying, well, it's just too bad you live in Topeka, because wouldn't you really love to take advantage? No. So let's talk about somebody in Topeka that is salivating over this thing. I knew I should have stayed in Michigan. You're scratching where they're itching. They have needs, as you're discussing, they'd love to plug in. How do they begin to find an organization like this, can they maybe find an organization? How would you advise them?
So there is, as I mentioned before, a lot of centers are based, number one, out of your local college or educational system. So I would check with the Family Business Center there first. For example, in our neck of the woods in the Midwest, University of Toledo has a fantastic family business center called the Conway Family Business Center. Saginaw State has a family business center that operates out of the university. So my first advice would be to check the large college university in your area, inquire within the business center if they have a family business operating arm. I am happy to connect people that, since you do live maybe idyllically in Topeka, Kansas, there's a center called the Prairie Family Business Center.
Perfect.
And they serve a wide range of states. They have an annual summit every year, but I'm a part of a directors alliance and it's other family business centers. Again, we all vary in our makeup or shape or how we're funded, but our mission and our purpose is all the same, is really to help family business leaders on their journey. So you could certainly check with your local college or university. You could reach out to me, and we refer within our network all the time to help families out to meet the mission and goal that's a common goal that we all share, which is to see family enterprise continue to thrive in the United States.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And collaboration is the way to go. So even if you're listening, and I guess that was Topeka's too populated an area. If you're in Chigger Creek, Louisiana, we probably could connect you. And you could get some support like that. Let's talk about, let's shift if you will. Let's talk about some of the fun that the Family Business Alliance offers. There has to be social events, and I would say, because again, if you're going to mix with people and maybe start having the introductions necessary to carry on even other conversations that could have you've got to get people together. What kind of things can I look forward to for the Family Business Alliance each year?
Are you a skeet shooter, Chris?
A poor one. I like to hunt pheasants, but oftentimes I let them go. I'm really there to watch the dog work. But yes, that's the best part of me, frankly. But yeah.
One of our signature social events is our annual skeet shoot. We just completed it last week. We've been doing that for 12 years. And again, our association enjoys nearly 90% retention rate. So we have some of the same members come year after year to do the skeet event. We do a social golf event. And then we also have networking opportunities ahead of each event for families to connect with one another. And there are times where we'll do unique family dinners to meet our keynote or our family business speaker and bring them in a more intimate setting so that they can meet and enjoy, get to know the family business speaker on a different level.
Wow, that's a great opportunity too. And how many families are in the association right now, the Alliance?
We're nearly 200 organizations. So, I laugh when we first started, when they first started in 2006, I looked back on some of the history papers and it started with 8 members and there were 8 people at their first event.
Wow.
So, we've come a long way in 2020. By 2025, typically our annual family forum has 250 family business professionals at an event. So I think our founders, if they were looking down on us, would be proud.
Yeah. And good news is meant to be shared. So I'm not surprised that it is multiplied from there. And that's a fantastic thing. All right. Well, Robin, I'm going to come in for a landing here now. And I maybe I'll turn the mic over to you and say, if somebody's on the fence saying, maybe I should call those guys, what would you say, do you think?
I think really the gift is the community. And it's unlike anything I've ever seen. That willingness to help one another and to navigate, like I said, the opportunities and the challenges, because the intent is to make sure that in our community, family businesses thrive. And I think, as I mentioned before, I understand the challenge of time. I'm constantly evaluating how do I balance time. But I think that for a family member to invest the time, would be beneficial to us and to their employees, to their families, and to the community. Because it is a little bit of a thankless job. But to be in the room and know that the work that you're doing is appreciated and valued, and that other people there's 200 other families that are rooting for you to succeed, is.
And I would just add, as well, as I've said in other podcasts, oftentimes, very often of times, you'll actually go faster if you go a little slower. So maybe you need to pull back a little bit and recharge your batteries and connect with people that are like-minded, the people that they're already in your corner just because you have the sympathy and synergy of family business, and be able to leave that refreshed with some new ideas. Just one new idea a year could change your entire business. So,
right.
Wow. I mean, take some time, not just to work the business, to work on your business by working on yourself, and connect with an organization such as this. I can't tell you how blessed we are and excited my daughter and I are to be involved with you guys even right here. That is just really great.
I think really and truly, when people ask me, like, how will I understand the value? Will this create a value or impact for me? And, to me, it's in the member retention rate. People would not continue to renew their membership with us year over year if they didn't feel they derived the value from the events, from the programming, from the connections, and the community. And so to have a 90% retention rate of our membership and to continue to grow is very important to us. And it's a true testament of the experience that one will receive.
Right. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, Robin, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. A best way to contact you, would you say, if somebody wanted to do more?
Yeah. Our website is fbagr.org. My email is robin@fbagr.org. There is an online pop-up for you to sign up for our newsletter, or you could just reach out to me direct. I'd welcome the opportunity to learn about your family, to learn about your story, and see how we can help.
There you go. And again, as we said, even if you're in Topeka or Sugar Creek, as you can tell, Robin is a very approachable person and would love to coach you a little bit and to assist you, if you're having trouble finding maybe a group. And, if you find a group that's 3 hours away, that's awesome. That's close enough. Go get involved with it. It's worth the drive. It's worth the flight. Let's go faster by going slower and connecting with people that are rowing in the same boat that you're in. I mean, how valuable is that? It's very, very exciting to me.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your opportunity and having me on this podcast, Navigating Abundance and with Strategic Financial Group. I really appreciate all that you're doing to help families navigate some of those challenges as well.
Thank you for those kind words. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Navigating Abundance. Look forward to speaking with you next time. In the meantime, remember, as always, your family is worth it.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Navigating Abundance. If you found this information useful or helpful in any way, let us know in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more content like this and follow our podcast, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. If you're interested in working with today's guests, you can find their information in the description of this podcast. If you'd like to know more about Navigating Abundance and how we may help you, or find more resources related to what we do, you can find those at navigatingabundance.com.